Miss Girls, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been about 3 months since I last posted, and I'm sorry I've been busy and I know I haven't been consistent, but we are back to it. In today's video, I am going to be talking about how I got started in the lash industry and just the steps that I followed to kind of get to where I am. So I do have my iPad with me with a whole mess of notes of topics that I do want to cover. So honestly, this is what I did for my lash journey and just what I chose to do because I thought it would be the best option for me. But there are definitely different routes. So I'm like, just keep that in mind. I'm like, this might not be the best route, but this is what I did and this is what worked for me. The first thing I do want to talk about is first, make sure that you are checking with your state's regulations. So every state is different. Some states do require you to be licensed. Some don't require a license. They just require you to be certified. So check with your state's regulations first. And then after that, that is when you can start looking at school options or course options. Sorry, I have a little energy drink, So that is the first thing I did want to say is just make sure you are checking with your state's regulations just to make sure that you know what you have to have in order to perform beauty services. Now I'm just going to jump into what I did for my journey, how I got started and things like that. The first thing I did was I chose to take a lash course. So technically in the state of California, you do have to be either a licensed esthetician or cosmetologist in order to perform lash extension services. So for me, the first thing I wanted to do was I chose to take a lash course first just to see if I liked it, to see if it was for me before going and investing in school. Because honestly, lashing is not for everyone. I feel like nowadays everyone is wanting to lash just because they think it's fast, easy money, or they want to do it just because it's a little phase that they're having or because everyone else is doing it. But with lashing, it is hard. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh yeah, it's so easy, you make so much money. Which, don't get me wrong, I feel like you definitely do make money, but it does take years for you to get to that. Like, you're not going to be making all that profit right away as a beginner. Like I said, lashing is not for everyone. Even whenever I took my course, I was like, girl, there is no way that I'm gonna be able to do this. Like, I gave up so many times. I quit lashing, went back to working a normal job, came back to lashing, and now I've made it into a career, but it is hard at first. So that's why I decided to take a course first just to see if I liked it. Then once I did decide that I wanted to pursue lashing as a career, that's whenever I started looking at different beauty schools so that I can get my license. So I did go to school, I got my license. And if you guys want me to make a separate video on beauty school and just how it was, what to expect, or answer any questions that you girlies have, I definitely can. Just let me know in the comments. That way I can go more in depth on esthetician school. I feel like it's kind of like two separate videos, so I don't want to combine them both. But if you guys want me to, I will make a separate video. Just let me know down below. So to get started in the lash industry, the first thing I would recommend doing is taking a lash course. Whenever it comes to taking courses, sorry if I'm looking down, I have my notes here. But whenever it comes to taking a course, I would say look for local lash techs in your area that do offer courses. Just because I feel like they do have courses online, but since lashing is hands-on, it's better to take an in-person course. That way you are able to actually learn and you have someone teaching you step by step. The only thing, I feel like nowadays so many girls just want to be self-taught and they don't want to take courses because they hear the stories of girls being ripped off or not learning. But you won't be ripped off if you are really doing your research and going to someone that knows what they're doing. And when I say that, I mean like if you're going to a beginner that's offering courses, they aren't going to be able to teach you as much as someone that has been lashing, you know, for 3 or 4 years and that has clientele built, has gone through certain situations, has gone to school. Definitely make sure you are doing your research. That way you don't get ripped off. And whenever it comes to courses too, you definitely have to compare what they're providing you with and compare the prices. For the most part, nowadays courses start anywhere from about $600 and the most expensive ones that I've seen were like $2,500, girl. Me, whenever I took my course, I think I paid I want to say about 1,000. I honestly don't really remember because it's been like 2 years since I've taken it, but I want to say it was around that price. But yeah, just look at different options, compare the kit that they're giving you, how much supplies they're including. If they're giving you the lash bed, are they providing you with the ring light? Are they giving you, you know, the lifetime mentorship that they say? Are they giving you your certificate? So just really compare everything that they are giving you before you decide on someone. I would say make sure you are really comparing your options. Don't just go to the first person. And the thing is too, with lash courses, there are different ones. Some will be one-on-one, which is just you and the person doing the training. And then others will be group courses. Like when it comes to deciding on that, you just kind of have to figure out the kind of learner you are. Like if you feel like you learn better with a group, then by all means go do a group course. But if you feel like you learn better on your own, I would say do the one-on-one. The group courses might be a little bit cheaper than the one-on-one, but for me personally, I chose to do the one-on-one just because they're just focused on you. If you're taking a group course with 20 different girls, they're not going to be able to focus on you and the work that you're doing. So that's why I chose a one-on-one, but it's completely up to you. There also are online courses. I haven't really seen any like good online courses, but like then again, I haven't really looked into it. So the same thing with online courses, just make sure you are doing your research. You'll see like girls on TikTok that'll be live saying, oh, like I have a whole beginner course for only $10 and that will certify you. For me, like the way I see it was, I don't think those are really like real courses that certify you. But I don't know, that's just how I see it. I would say you're better off going to someone that really offers, you know, courses in person. That's a 1 to 3 day course. And then another big thing too for your course, make sure they are 1 to 2 days, 1 to 3 days, and make sure that you have a day to learn all the information, all the techniques, and then make sure that they are giving you a day to practice on a model. I feel like that's a big thing. Like if you're looking at courses and you're comparing, if one of them doesn't offer like you practicing on a model, I would say don't do it, because you practicing on a model and having the trainer there guiding you step by step is what's going to help you a lot. For my course, I didn't get to practice on a model, so my first client was my mom, and girl, I had to just wing it. Like, of course I was practicing, but lashing on a person is completely different than lashing on your little mannequin head. So definitely make sure that they do let you practice on a model. Another thing whenever looking for a course that I would say sticks out to a red flag to me is whenever they are just promoting that you can make 6 figures in a year. Because to me, I feel like, yeah, eventually you can make that, but it's not going to be in your first year of lashing. And I feel like that's how they get people to go to them, just because all they're seeing is dollar signs. So girl, please do not fall for that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, you definitely can make that once you have, you know, a couple years of experience in lashing, but I'm going to be real with you guys. Like, you are not going to make 6 figures in a year. Lashing, especially as a beginner, when you first start, I feel like the hardest part is gaining your clientele. As a beginner, it is not easy. Like, it's not easy at all. Like, you're going to want to quit. You're going to want to cry. You're not going to be motivated. Trust me, girl. And you might feel like you're the only one that goes through it, but no, like every lash beginner goes through this. So I'm literally telling you guys from experience. As a beginner, you are going to be struggling to even get model clients to practice on. You're going to struggle even when you're charging cheap prices. Girl, even whenever you're trying to do sets for free, you're going to struggle to get people. It is really hard. And I feel like building your clientele is honestly one of the hardest parts about being a lash tech. It takes months to get clients. It takes months to be booked and busy. For some, it even takes years. You being booked and busy definitely isn't something that's going to happen overnight. And I feel like whenever you take a course and these girls are telling you that you're going to make that much money, this, and that, they don't tell you how long it takes and what it takes to really get to that. So if they're just promoting that you're going to make 6 figures, girl, and like take it as a red flag. The thing is too, so many girls offer courses just because they're trying to make the money. So they do courses just for the money and they don't really care about really teaching you All they want to do is get paid. So please do your research, girl. I hear so many stories where girls say, like I said, they say that they take courses, they didn't learn anything. And that's because the girls don't care to teach. They just want to make a quick $1,000 in 2 days. I've heard really bad stories about girls that offer trainings. Like I've had some girls tell me that they took a course with someone and then after the course they got blocked. And I was like, girl, how do they block you after? Like, I don't know, like that's freaking crazy to me. Like I honestly don't know how girls can do that, but yeah, the last thing you want to do is take a course with someone and then them be like that. Like the whole thing too with the course is they are giving you the lifetime mentorship. So it's like, girl, how is that lifetime mentorship if I'm blocked? You can't reach out to them. You can't ask questions. But yeah, that's just crazy. So please be careful. Let's go to a green flag. One thing that stands out to me that makes them look like they do offer good courses is whenever the trainer, I don't know what to call them, trainers, whenever the trainer is promoting their students' work, like they're involved. I follow some lash techs that offer trainings and they are always sharing their students' work, talking about how good they're doing and things like that. Like that is a green flag. You want to go to someone that's going to support your journey and that's going to help put you out there and give you that exposure. And what you can also do too, just because I feel like whenever you are looking for courses, you never really know what's good, what isn't, especially if you don't know anything about lashing. Like you're just automatically thinking that you are getting your money's worth and they're giving you everything that you need. But really you don't know until afterwards. What you can do too is if they are posting their students' work, you can always go onto their students' page. You can always send them a message and be like, hey girl, I was interested in taking this course with so-and-so. I was just wondering what your experience was like. Do you think it was worth it? And just kind of see what they say about it. If they say it was worth it, they really liked it, they learned a lot, then take it. But if they say, oh no girl, don't take it, I didn't learn, or she gave me cheap lash supplies from Amazon, then don't go to them. Nowadays too, there are a lot of girls that just want to be self-taught, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like in order for you to start working on clients, I think it's best for you to take a course first, just because whenever you're lashing, you're working with people's eyes. And if you don't know what you're doing, it can go wrong so fast. And the last thing you want to do is end up gluing someone's eyes shut, or even leaving them blind. Like, I don't know, it just goes bad really fast if you don't know, the proper techniques, proper sanitation, and things like that. So I always say take a course. Whenever it comes to taking a course too, the reason why I say to take a course is because they're literally providing you with everything. If you're being self-taught, you don't know what supplies to get, you don't know what to charge, you don't know how to start off. And whenever you take a course, they should be explaining all of that information to you. Whenever you take a course, they should be providing you with a beginner lash kit. And they should be guiding you throughout your whole, I don't want to say your whole entire journey, but for the most part, your beginner journey. I know whenever I took my course, they helped me set up my Instagram page, make a logo. They told me how to start posting to get clients, and they should be telling you how much to charge as a beginner. Whenever you are trying to learn on your own, you're like, where do I start? What do I charge? What do I do? In your course, they should be teaching you all of that basic information to get you started. I do want to cover a little bit more about the self-taught. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with you being self-taught if you want to buy stuff to practice on your own. And it's because I get it, like courses are so expensive, and I feel like once you hear the stories about girls, not getting their money's worth, not learning, you'll start thinking like, why am I gonna go pay someone $1,000 and me not learn anything when I can just learn off TikTok or learn off YouTube? That's the reason why so many girls don't do courses anymore. Like they just want to teach themselves. And I always get questions about, what beginner lash kit recommendations I recommend. And honestly, I would say stay away from Amazon. On Amazon, yes, the kits are super cheap, but why do you think they're that price? Like, why do you think they're so cheap? And that's because they're providing you with cheap products that are going to make it way harder for you to learn. Trust me, as a beginner, I was using Amazon products and girl, it made it so much harder for me to learn. I was also using Amazon tweezers that just weren't good, didn't have good grip. And I kid you not, like I could not make fans for anything with those tweezers and with those lashes. It wasn't until I invested in better quality products that I was actually able to get a hang of it. Whenever you are using cheap products, they'll make it seem like it's you that's the problem, but girl, no. Like, your products are so freaking important, especially having a good pair of tweezers. Let's move on to the next thing. So fast forward a little bit. Let's say you already took a lash course, you really like it, you want to pursue it as a career, and now you're wanting to get licensed. Once you decide that lashing is definitely something that you want to do and you are required to be licensed in your state, girl, I would say just go to school, get it out the way, get your license, especially if lashing is something that you want to do in the long run. It's better for you to be safe than sorry. The last thing you want to do is be reported or be fined for lashing without a license. Not just that, but if you don't have your license, you are kind of limited to what you can do. Having a license opens up so many more doors. In my state, like I said, I did have to have an esthetician or cosmetology license, and I decided to do esthetician. So with esthetician school, it covers more skin. So it was waxing, facials, lashes, and brows. So I completely forgot to mention this in the video, but in esthetician school, they barely cover lashes, and honestly, they do not teach you step by step on how to lash. Even if you were to go to esthetician school first, you would still have to take a lash course afterwards in order for you to really learn. Cosmetology is going to be more nails, makeup, hair, and lashes. I think you are able to do some waxing too. I'm not too sure. And like, just make sure you do your research first. I'm not too sure, but I know with esthetician, that is what you do. I ended up going the esthetician route just because it was the fastest. The cosmetology program is longer. I went to Milan Beauty School, and here in California, they do require you to have 600 hours completed before you're able to take your license exam. This amount of hours is going to be different in every single state, so just make sure you are checking with your state's regulations. So for me, the 600 hours took me 6 months to complete, and I was going to school full-time. I was going to school Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. That was what my schedule was like, and that was full-time. They also had different options that were Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, or you can even do like evening classes, but the evening classes were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I believe they were from, I don't know, I want to say 5 p.m. to like 9. I'm not too sure, but it was something like that. So school took me about 6 months to complete, but of course, if you are missing days or missing hours, it is gonna make your schooling longer. So try not to miss, or if you do miss, make up your time. Once I graduated esthetician school, it did take about a month just to process all of the information and the records for my schooling. So once they did that, then I was able to schedule my exam date. And I did wait, I think, about a month after school to take my exam just so that I would have time to study, because girl, I was so scared to fail. So I studied for about a month, and then that's whenever I took my exam and I passed. And yeah, that's where we are today. I feel like that is, you know, really what I recommend doing. Oh, let me actually talk about the pricing of school. Beauty school is not cheap, I know, and I feel like that's the reason why there are so many girls that aren't licensed and aren't just certified, because of the money. The schooling is not cheap. For the school that I went to, I did pay $13,000 for a piece of paper. No, I'm just kidding. You do need a license, so definitely go. But yeah, it was $13,000. I know the pricing is a lot, but they do offer financial aid. So if you do qualify, it will come out cheaper. You're able to apply for loans, and they also have other scholarship options. And then for the amount of money, you do not have to pay it in full. Like, they will help you make a payment plan that works for you, that you pay off while you're in school. I don't want to scare you guys though by just saying it costs $13,000. Just remember that the prices are different depending on the state that you live in, the school or program that you're doing. So just keep that in mind, because I know in some states the programs are about $3,000, $4,000, so they can definitely be way lower, but that's how much mine was. But I don't want to scare you guys away, so sorry. Hopefully in your state it is cheaper, because $13,000 is a lot. That is pretty much it on how to get started. The first thing I would recommend is make sure that you are looking for a lash course, take a lash course. And whenever you are looking for your course, just please remember to do your research. The last thing you want to do is pay thousands of dollars and you not get your money's worth. So please make sure you are doing your research. And then after you take your course, if you decide you like it, you want to pursue it, definitely start looking into beauty schools if you are required to be licensed in the state that you live in, because honestly, like I said before, it's better for you to be safe than sorry. And the last thing you want to do is be reported and be fined. And girl, don't think these fines are small amounts. These fines are thousands of dollars. So girl, save you money. If you guys want me to go in depth on esthetician school, or if you guys have more questions about it, or you want to know a little bit more, just let me know down below in the comments, and then I'll post a little Q&A little poll on my Instagram, and that way you guys can ask the questions that you have, or you guys can also leave the questions down below and then I can just answer them in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this does help you guys. If you guys have any other questions in regards to how to get started in the lash industry, or if there was a topic I didn't cover, you can leave it down below in the comments, or you can also DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Lashxculture. You can DM me on there and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye, Miss Girls.